Every 12 Indian IAS officers come from the state of Bihar. Why it is so? Look among the 28 Indian states and 8 Union Territories, Bihar is not performing very satisfactory. Bihar stands at the last position or near to the various important parameters of India. Here is a statement from NITI aayog. Half of the population of Bihar is not only poor but multidimensionally poor. This means parameter like education, health, treat of violence, quality of life, the performance of Bihar is terrible in all parameters. Hence the puzzle of Bihar producing so many IAS officers getting more interesting. So take this video as a through starter. This means I will be telling some fact, but I will force you to think deeply. So let me first ask you the question, according to you, what is a job, right? If it is a definition, international law is very simple. Any work or task which makes you earn money or profit is a job, but it is not such straightforward. If it was so, then you can do anything for money, but this isn't happen. Which job do you select depend upon the lot of parameters, and if we solve to think of these parameters, then we would easily find out why Bihar produce so many IAS officers. So the first question, what is the mindset of your family or parent? Let us took example of Bihar. Normally your parents are still living in the mindset of 70s or 80s, by which they think agriculture happens the most in our country, or some jobs offered by the private companies can fire you anytime. Get a government job and the whole life is secure and stable. The perceptions of a people for this change a lot of country after the liberalization of 1991, but Bihar could not change this perception. Look, after the 10 years from 1991, more than 70% of the rural population in Bihar was depend upon the agriculture for their livings. This means the penetration of the service sector in the rural population was nearly zero. The urbanization rate of Bihar is 10%. So the service sector, which was covering urban areas, was not covering the major population of Bihar. Now, you would think agriculture sector might be performing extemporaneously in Bihar, but not at all. Small land holdings are prevalent in Bihar, for fewer investments give less output. That's why many families are in deficit or loss. And overall, the allied industries of agriculture like sugar, Bihar stand very far in the consumption. Earlier, Bihar used to produce 40% of total sugar production in India, but now the sale has been reduced by 4%. The reason behind is in 17 miles of 2020 mills has been shut their operation due to the corruption and politics. Now the industrial sector is left. Have a look at its condition. When Bihar was organized, when Bihar was separated from Jharkhand, the industrial sector used to contribute 24% of Bihar. But after the partition, this has also reduced by 4%. Now you standing in India state where industrial sector is suffering and the service sector is limited to the urban areas and agriculture is not performing satisfactory. If you are parent, what would you do for your child's future? You would only ask them to do a government job, and it is the sole job opportunity in Bihar. The rest of the sector have no opportunity for them. The second factor which decides which job you would do are your family's monetary standing. This means economic condition of your family. This too is very poor in Bihar. A survey showed that during the 1980s, it took around 20 years for a person in getting salary double in the whole country, but it was 63 years in the case of Bihar at that time, and this was more than the life expectancy of the people in Bihar. This means the residents of Bihar is not have been double in entire life. The condition has not improved even today. Bihar has highest poverty rate among all the Indian states, and due to this some require social mobility or a good economic stability. Then people don't have money in their household. They end up with the sole purpose, study hard and get a government job. And Bihar has a solid relationship with education. Great universities like Vikramshila, Nalanda in Bihar, where the acceptance rate is only 20%. This means getting admission in the universities was very tough. and the Asian culture of education present in Bihar, and even today the culture exists. So where people only ask children to study and make their future bright, and before the people of Bihar are more interested in the education and the government jobs. One more factor which decides which job you would good into. In your childhood heroes, this means when you are growing up, then which are the heroes recognized by your society. In Gujarat, peoples think businessmen are the most respected person. We would get into the business keeping our financial status away. The condition of Bihar is totally opposite. The student who achieve top grades or top ranks don't come from the high status families. For them, IAS officers are projected as the real heroes. So many of students to become an IAS officers. Look at some of the interview of toppers from the 10th or 12th, 19 to 29. All these students wanted to become an IAS officer. One more factor which decides your job is the hunger of your power. This hunger for the power comes with several reasons. Bihar has a historical context of hunger of power. When the revolt of 1857 took place in Bihar under the British Empire, then Britishers started discriminating against the people of Bihar. Earlier, the Britishers used to appoint a lot of armies officers from Bihar, but they stopped it after the revolt. The Britishers started appointing people in various armies positions from the other states, and discrimination was faced by the people of Bihar. Apart from this, the share in the revenue stood lowest at 32% of Bengal constituency, and the Bengal presidency was joined by Bihar. When the Bengal presidencies was separated from Bihar, then a center was made in the Patna to look after Bihar. In that administrative center, the officers appointed were Bengalis, and due to this, the people of Bihar developed an interest in the profile related of powers. If somehow we manage to get into these profile, then we can reclaim the glory of our state. There is one more concept of power in the perspective of Bihar, which comes from the feudal mindsets. Bihar is termed as the hotbed for the feudal mindsets, and the Jamindari system ignite this whole situation. The class of people was decided by the Jamindari system, keep widening with the passage of time, and the caste-based discrimination which very prevalent in northern India, everyone is very well aware of, and due to this, all such peoples who were the victims of any caste-based discrimination felt we get into the power, then all people would pay respect to us. And that's why NC Agastham, who is the retired IAS officer, tells the feudal mindset of only formalized all these situations. There is one more concept to this hunger of power which is quite recent. You should remember during the 1980s or 90s, the Bihar government was termed as a Jungle Raj. This is not all told by me, this was told by the High Court of Bihar. The whole generation has grown up watching leaders who were called Bahubalis, who used to come from the criminal backgrounds. Incident of kidnapping and thief very common. The generation feel that this should be changed, and corruption also adds to all this. A survey showed that 75% of people somehow offer bribes for some work. The whole system is corrupted. So the generation which has grown up watching all these things to either changing this situation, or if we want to survive this scenario, then we must get in somehow the position of power, so that the families and the children stay away from this filthy scenario, and hence the population of Bihar not only prefer government job but also make targets to achieve the top positions. But the sad truth is, even after producing so much IAS officers, the condition of Bihar is not improving. Bihar perform poor in various parameters, and let me tell you an irony, the position of IAS officers from Bihar is always outside Bihar. So there is a shortage of IAS officers in Bihar itself. Someone has told the absolute truth: the lamp burns itself, lighting its surrounding, but darkness grows beneath it.